What's cracking? What's poppin', y'all? Hey, what is poppin'? What are you guys doing? Gretchen, I wanted to send you a message today in the AP celebration. I was like, oh, I forgot she's here. It was so nice to see you there. What's cracking, Marcus? Thank you for hanging out with me as usual. How you guys doing? Let's get it poppin'. I'm using the wrong microphone. How's this? Better? I was using the wrong microphone. Microphone. Sorry, guys. I was helping out Ian Anderson. Well, giving him a background behind the scenes, and I was using the camera mounted to the ZVE10, and I forgot to change it back. Disturb. What is cracking, fam? Ooh, that was a great transition with that song. That was like, yes, Koa, there is a pedal under the desk. However, I did change. I removed the only thing right now. The only thing right now that is on the Stream Deck pedal are my Zoom functions. So she can mute and unmute my microphone and hide. What is it? Turn off and turn on my camera if I'm on Zoom. Other than that, she cannot randomly end the stream. So Paul asked me what mic I was using when I first came in, and you can see it kind of over here. We come over this way, you see it a little bit better. This is the behind the shoulder shot that we're going to be using for this shot right here. So I can give you guys a few different angles from here, and I forgot to, so I'll do that right now. I did forget to duplicate the scene. So let me go ahead and do this like an Ecamm Pro and do this behind the scenes. But how's everyone doing? Gretchen is saying, should have stayed in the celebration rather than what I did instead. But since I never really did anything last quarter, I was feeling a little bit out of place. Aw, don't feel, why? Why, friend? Why? Don't feel that way. That's not cool. I don't want you to feel that way ever. But I was still happy to see you there. So are you deciding to stay in the same phase? What does that mean? Let's come in. Did my camera just flash again? Did you guys? So I changed. So I am going to rely on you guys. I changed the cam link where it's plugged into. It is plugged in directly to my, what's this called? my computer, my Mac Studio, in a USB-C port. So it's not Thunderbolt. We're not going to play today. We're not playing. I will put you in the crate. So if it flashes green, that means that that means I may need to throw it out. And it's not throw it out, but that means that I'm having problems. So let me know if that's the case. Oh, I just realized I'm still in preview mode. And oh no, you guys are seeing the right thing. I'm like, wait, what's happening? You are seeing. I'm like, what's happening? Go up, go. It's what time is it? 7 o'clock. It's like she's like, what is? All right, let me duplicate the scene. Let me just come in over here. Koa is going to create me. Koa is gonna create me. That's funny. All right, so I did that, and what are we gonna do? We're gonna do iPad screen share. I hope this works. I was supposed to test. That was the one thing I was supposed to test. Freaking coño. All right, so let's come back. Let's publish this. And is my iPad showing up? Shiitake. The iPad is not showing up. So why don't we do this? And I'm probably going to have to run upstairs and crate her because she is not going to drive me nuts. All right. So let me move this over here. Let's do this. Don't want you guys to see my password. All right. Is the iPad showing up? Interesting. The iPad, all sources. Let me go to all sources. Not seeing my iPad come up. Let me unplug. Plug back in. There you go. Click to start. All right. Cool. Paul says I need crisp. Yeah, I need Koa not to drive me nuts is what I need. Let's put the overlays over here. Oh, that's what you weren't seeing because my camera switcher. So the iPad is now down here. The camera switcher was on another window. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, this is supposed to be a screen share. So I'm just going to come in. Let's come over this way. We're going to come in and I'm going to do a screen share overlay. Let's get this to shape. iPads are 4x3. I don't know if you guys knew that, but the iPads are, oh, damn it. It's not a screen share. It is a camera overlay. So let me delete that. Sorry. This is so I can come over here. We can do 4x3. Let me assign this is, let's go to my A and B switcher. Let me bring this over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Here's my A and B switcher. So now we're looking at me, camera A, camera B is the ZVE10. Camera C is my behind the scenes. Camera D is this, check this out. Okay, camera D is the overhead video. Camera E is the potato cam of the Elgato. You can see the top of my thing here. The iPad is not showing up. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this plus button. And on this plus button, we are going to do add India's iPad. And I saw that pretty girl come up. Hey, girl. Hey. How are you doing? Let's publish that. Okay, cool. So, all right. So I assigned it. Look, Angie came and she all distracted me and stuff. Okay. So let's go back over here. The camera is showing up. Interesting. It did not show up again. So let me hit. Ooh, that's weird. I added it. And now it says not in camera switcher, but it's in all sources. What am I missing? And I don't want this iPad. Remove from switcher. So my M1 iPad. I mean, it's not the end of the world. But AB. Interesting. My M1 iPad is not showing up under camera switcher. And if I do add placeholder camera, that's F. Okay, there it is. All right. I don't know. Maybe I'm not using it properly. That is a big possibility. What is happening here? This just changed a bunch of things around. So A is me. So that's A, that's right. B is this one here, my ZVE10. C is the behind the scenes. D now is my iPad. And that's, is that right? And the iPad. All right, we're about to, uh, uh, uh. Okay, that is showing. Okay. D is the iPad M2. E is the potato cam, but then the overhead cam disappeared. USB video. So now that's the overhead. Okay. Let's make this smaller. Why is it called the potato cam? Oh, because it's not, I mean, compared to everything else, Dean. Hi, Dean. Compared to everything else, it's not as nice and crispy. So I call it the potato cam. All right. So what do we say? Is this D? Oh, that is right. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me come back in. Well, before we do this, let's hide this comment over here. And let's center this a little bit. And this looks like, I'm just looking to see if it's showing everything. It looks like it actually is showing everything. So let me just cancel this. Let me take a look. That's interesting. It's not. And this is supposed to be 4:3. iPads are supposed to be 4:3. Let's go to wide. Make this smaller. Interesting. Did I crop this? Let me just do a brand new. I might have cropped it. That might be why. So let me do a brand new camera overlay. No, absolutely not. Because you're, get off. Get off. Don't do that again. She gets one more chance. She gets one more chance. Because she just pressed something on my keyboard. I don't know what just came up. Oh, a finder. She opened up a finder window on this keyboard. Look at this. What happened here? This dog. All right, let's close this. I didn't even know what she did. Okay. So let's come back over here. I want this to be camera D. Definitely getting cut off now. iPads are supposed to be 4:3. Definitely. How about square? Oh, that's not good. And if I do custom, oh, wait. Let's go back to square and let's turn off these borders. Nope. Koa coding a whole new game. Right. Please don't ban Koa. Koa's about to get banned. She's about to get put on the crate, y'all. She's about to get put on the crate. I really hope that someday we can change cameras ABC to our own names. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So if I do, all right. So the right, it's definitely getting cut off. The top is getting completely cut off, and the left is getting completely cut off. So I will post in the community to see because it's supposed to share the whole screen. And I know 16:9, that's definitely not it. 16:9 is giving, nope. Same thing. What's going on, Luis? And if I do custom is really not going to do much because it is cropping. That's what this is doing. This is cropping in. That's frustrating because then you guys are not, I needed for this visual, I needed you guys to see the whole thing and it's not doing it. And if I do this, oh, that's so weird. Well, I can't work that way. Let me change this back. Let's go back to shape 4:3. No. What is happening right now? What is going on? Dr. Elo? No, it's not a piece of a crop. I did a brand new screen overlay. Get out. Get out. Sit down. Sit down. She has been on one today is what we're going to say because that's what we say. She's been on one. And she's about to go be on one in the crate. Okay. So let me come back over here. How about we do square? No. Oh, this sucks. Because if I come back over here, nope. So you're seeing all of the right hand, but the bottom, the top. She's a dog. That's her job. You know what, Dean? Do I have camera effects on that? I don't. So if I just come to my just camera scene, and let's just throw this up here, right? Just a camera, no overlay. Interesting. Check this out, guys. This is it. So this is the whole camera. Um, let me turn off live demo mode right quick. Right, so now you guys, publish, sorry. So now you guys are seeing, this is the iPad, right? So now you're seeing the top the way you're supposed to see the top. You're seeing the bottom the way you're supposed to see the bottom. I am going to send a ticket to the team and contact support because if we come back to the iPad screen share, all right, and if I go back, let me just look at this and I do a camera overlay. See, here's the camera overlay. Let's remove Marcus's comment. Let's go to live mode. Hold on. Okay, so now we're in, sorry, I was still in a preview mode. Let's go back to the iPad screen share. All right, so this was a camera overlay that I brought in. I'm just changing this on the back end. India's iPad. Classic. Oh. Oh. Okay, so now you guys are seeing it. That's the way it's supposed to be, and it is classic, so I wasn't wrong. It is classic 4x3, which is what I said. If you have an iPad and you're bringing in an iPad, if we come back to live demo mode, that was the weirdest thing. We're looking at live demo mode again. So if I click on this pencil, so you guys can see, right? You're seeing here, you're seeing everything that you're supposed to see. So, right, this is what is this? Coño, camera overlay, classic 4x3. That's to get the full thing. Embiggen, yes. The embiggen. What I did differently was I assigned this camera to camera ABCD. Okay, so check it out. It did it again. It's cropped, right? And then when I did direct, the name of the camera direct, the iPad, it shows up. So let's come back. So let's remove the embiggen, make this regular size. So then what that would mean is I think both Gabe, and what's going on, Gabe? I don't think I said hi to you. Gabe asked if there was a crop and Marcus asked if there were effects. So if I come back, let's look at the camera switcher. Make this a little bit bigger for the camera switcher so you guys can see that. Okay, so you can see in the camera switcher, we are looking at A, high, B, high, C, overhead. The iPad is D, potato cam is E, and the overhead is F. So now what I was doing was I was choosing camera D. So what I would need to do is choose this pencil here. You guys are freaking geniuses. You guys are geniuses. That's what the issue was. Okay, so it was user error, guys. You can see here, camera D, there is a crop on camera D. So zoom and pan, that should, in theory, so if we go back, man, well, that took a lot of time. We go back, and if we change this back to camera D, All right. User error. Thank you so much to where is the and let's turn off live demo mode. Thank you so much, Gabe and Marcus. Camera effects. You guys were the best. That was good. That was good to know. I don't know when I did that effect, but yes. Hey, Sammy Superstar. Yeah. Yes, live happens. Live happens. All right. And 5 horas después. He's saying 5 hours later. All right, so let's come back over here because you guys aren't seeing me. Now that we got that fixed, let's just try to make this as big as possible here. And let's do another camera overlay. Whoa. Whoa. And let's do it tall. I don't think that's going to work. Tall is not going to work, so we will do a circle. Squircle? Squircle? You can bring me over here. Man, that was a lot of work. Sheesh. Sheesh Louise. All right, and then the other thing, and let's go back to live demo mode here, just so you can see. And we'll get actually into the meat and potatoes of the content. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a Stream Deck button. So I'm going to open up my configure Stream Deck. I got these 2 extra buttons over here on the bottom, on the top right. I'm just going to click on Run Scene, and it defaulted to my iPad screen share, so we are good. So I have my main scene, which is this over here. I have my over the shoulder, which is this here. So if I want to show you guys like what it looks like actually holding the pencil, a different angle. Oh, overhead. Uh, is that wrong? Yes. F. Camera F. There you go. And yeah, so if I wanted to show you guys from here, and we can see that. And now we are cooking. Sheesh. Sheesh. Sheesh Louise. Thanks for your patience while I work through that. That was all right. Yeah, literally 5 hours later. But that was good. That was good to know, right? Checks and balances, figuring it out. I don't remember when I did it. That's all right. So here is the warning. There's I don't, why can't I talk today? It's the end of the day. Here's what I have to say is what I'm going to say. Here's what I have to say. I downloaded Davinci for iPad. Cut it out. I downloaded for Davinci for iPad as soon as it came out. I think as soon as it was released to the public. I have not looked at it. I have been internally fighting. The camera switcher will bring the overlay. No, that's the wrong one. What? So it wasn't me. I mean, it was me, but not really. Okay, this is good. So learning Ecamm 4.0. Paul, Mr. Moderator, says camera switcher will bring the overlay in at the size of the last one. So that is interesting. So I'm assuming that it's probably also grabbing the effects as well, or the size, which made sense because at some point I think. Okay, good to know. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. That was great. But it would have been nice for you to tell me that 20 hours before. Gosh. Come on. Okay, so back to my full disclosure. Full disclosure. That's what I was trying to say. Back to my full disclosure. New glasses. They are new glasses. I've been wearing them for a while. I don't know if I like them. And you have absolute. I should start having prizes. You won the prize for squirreling me. Who was the first one to squirrel India? This jerk was. We have to laugh here though, right? They are new glasses. They're blue light filter glasses as well. Well, all my lenses, I take that back. All my lenses have the blue light because of how much I am looking at the computer. However, So y'all know I turned 40 this year, and this was the first year that my doctor told me I needed two sets of glasses. One was for looking at the computer and sitting at my desk, and the other pair is like when I'm out driving and things like that. Um, so that's what these glasses are. These glasses are sitting at the desk glasses. They're not bifocals. Chill, 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 chill. They're not bifocals because my prescription actually, I don't need it. My prescription is not that bad, but because of the amount of time that I sit at the desk and stuff, definitely. Did Koa unplug? I don't know. My loop deck isn't plugged in. This dog. Oh my God. All right. And Paul, I did see Paul's comment. Paul says, I need a remote squirrel button. You do need a remote squirrel button. That would be fun. Sheesh. Okay. So we said full disclosure. Full disclosure is that I downloaded Davinci. I actually have looked at a few videos, but not enough to say that I've educated myself. I did watch Daniel Batal's video for beginners, and but that's on the desktop, not on the iPad. And so I thoroughly enjoyed that. And so this is what I was saying, that I am now struggling, and Paul and I have talked about it a little bit. I am struggling with how much I continue to invest my personal time in Final Cut Pro, because you guys that are here actually all know how much I use my iPad, and I do edit on my iPad, right? I've been a LumaFusion user for years, and for very short, quick things, when I'm sitting on the sofa, I will absolutely take a file, even if I have my hard drive, right? Like I will connect the SSD drive directly to the iPad, um, and edit off of that on LumaFusion. And so I was excited for Davinci because obviously Davinci Resolve is a much, much stronger video editor than what LumaFusion is, right? It's more widely used and widely adapted by everyone who uses it. The other thing, from what I have done research and what I have learned, is that the Davinci for the iPad app is technically the full app. There are pages that are hidden, but it is the full application. It looks exactly like it does if you were to download it on your computer. So that's enticing. That is enticing, right? And then the other piece that made me pull the trigger, and now the other piece that where I say I'm fighting with how much time do I continue to invest, and not just time, it's also money, because there's like, if I were to buy a plugin, I've kind of put a hold on the plugins that I've bought for Final Cut Pro, because there is one of the most popular plugin compute makers, whatever we're going to call it, Motion VFX. They are top notch, top of the line plugins for video editing programs. So it's not just for DaVinci, but they will have a plugin for DaVinci, Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere. I think those are the top three that they have. So I've stopped because the Motion VFX has updated and created an app just for the iPad that if you buy the plugins, or if you've been a DaVinci Resolve user for the desktop and you already had plugins that you had invested in, this iPad installer, you can use these desktop plugins and templates on the iPad the same way you use on the desktop. And I thought that was like, that I thought was or is a game changer that was mind blowing to me, because there are zero plugins. There are zero plugins for LumaFusion, and that's why I've kind of stopped using LumaFusion. There's workarounds with it. I've paid for like little mini masterclasses. They still, for someone like me, as nerdy as I am, very hard to understand and get it. And it's a lot of copying and pasting. It's not what a true plugin is. So when I found out when I found out, Paul says, I'm going to have to find a new friend. No, you will not. When I found out that motion VF, the Spanish in me just came out. Did you guys see that? Motion. Hola, espérate. Motion. When the Motion VFX, that was real Spanish. When I found out that Motion VFX came out with an iPad installer, I was like, Melanie, you heard the Spanish in me? Motion VFX, you know, hey girl, your was cracking. I had to like jump off because I was preparing for my live stream. But Melanie went live today. A lot of our community supported her, and her community was very excited. So let's all in the community hold her accountable right now. Paul, you are the moderator. So can you please moderate this woman right here and tell her that we'll support her, and just to do live streams and just to do her cocktails and conversations and cocktails. Paul, do what you do and get, because Paul, Melanie, what you will not know is that when I stopped streaming last year, Paul was consistently texting me week after week, or maybe every other week, but Paul was consistently messaging me saying, I miss you. When are you going to come back? I enjoy, and we weren't as close friends as we are. So fun fact, and I don't think I've told any of you guys that, but that is a fun fact. Melanie was the second person to come in and squirrel me, so she wins second points. You squirreled me. But I thought that was important. That was important to talk about. I love you too. But yes, Paul, that is what I will say is that is actually how Paul and I became good friends, because he literally just started checking up on me via Facebook Messenger out of the blue. And it was consistent, right? Like it was, I want to say, I feel like more often than not, it was every week where he was like, I miss you. When are you going to come back? The community misses you. When are you going to come back? And he knew that I had just moved in, blah, 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 blah. But moral of the story is that people be checking on you. So now Paul is going to check on you. Okay. All right. So let's get back into it. Let me open up the iPad. So I just wanted to give you guys that, that full disclosure that we're going to learn this together. I'm going to see what I can learn. I did create we do have a share screen. So if I need to Google something really quick, we can Google it together and stuff like that. I'm going to see what I can remember. Oh, that's the, jeez Louise. All right. You know. So, you know what I wish? You guys can't see where I'm pressing the button unless I were to just take my face off. I guess I can. Hold on. I can kind of do this. Didn't think that through. Let's come back over here. Camera B. We can do camera B. Or you guys tell me. Free Koa, you know what? You just got peeking out of my meeting to read the comments. She's still here. I yelled at her though. The community didn't say nothing, surprisingly. But I did yell at her like with a very stern voice because she annoyed the shit out of me because she jumped on my desk and started pressing keys on the keyboard. All right, so let me know. Do you like this view better, or do you like this view? Well, I would have to move it. I would have to shift it. But do you like this view better? I feel like the other view, because I don't want you guys to see. If we do this one, B, if we do this one here, it's not for you guys to see what's on screen, because you can see, obviously, I have my iPad screen share. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on media, and it's on the upper right-hand corner. So you can kind of just follow along where my Apple Pencil. I'm going to leave it here until you guys tell me. How about that? Because what is cracking? This one, the one that I'm on, Gretchen. Gretchen says that one. Gretchen. Coño. Which one? Is it the one that we're on right now? This one, this angle? You know what? I did prepare, you jerk. Gosh, I did prepare it. Oh, I was just having, you know what? I'm not even gonna. Anyway, not even going to entertain you. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Cool. All right. So I want you guys to know that I was struggling because I went to import media, right? I clicked on import media, And I'm like, well, where's usually intuitive with Mac? You know, I think almost everybody here, with the exception of Melanie, gosh, Mel, we're all Mac users, right? You know that usually with Mac, gosh, um, if you go to import media, it'll say from your photos, right, from your camera, your camera roll. So take a picture, camera roll, or files. So that was one thing that was not intuitive to me because I hit, import media, and these are all my tags. I can collapse my tags. These are all my tags. But you can see here that there's no section for my camera roll. So I'm like, well, yeah, everybody got jokes today. It's all right. We love each other. That's all good. That's all. Bring the heat. I love you guys. Just try not to distract me too much, okay? So I was struggling because I'm like, well, how do I get down? Down. How do I get my pictures? That doesn't make any sense. Like, so what I did was I saved it on my iPad. Like, I went to my making things complicated. I went to my photos. I selected the videos that I wanted. And then I hit save to files. And then I clicked on my Davinci Resolve. And then these were the videos here, right? You can see the first three. You see where it says images. So those were the ones. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at my just camera scene. That's not the one. Oh, that's good if I do want to go back. But I'm gonna come here because I need to look before I go to my media. I need to look how this works, and I want to make sure that there's nothing inappropriate in my media. Oh, well, that's not the answer anyway. What is happening here? So I pressed media, thinking. I clicked on media. Oh, okay, that's what that does. Oh, so the media. All right, so I'm not bugging. My media. All right. Again, full disclosure, first time using it. I'm sure that I don't have the correct answers. Um, and we will revisit this once I figure it out. Oh, okay. All right. So did that? Let's see. I'm clicking on the little camera icon in the purple right under where it says full screen. That's not it. I'm just how is this not a thing? Like, do you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, if I have pictures on, so that's the one thing that you can do in LumaFusion. In LumaFusion, you can link locations and you can choose. So with LumaFusion, you can go to your photo roll, link that as a location, and then I can grab photos and videos directly from there. I feel like I shouldn't be missing this, but in essence of time, that's all right. So what I did was I did save it because I was trying to figure this out earlier today. So we're going to go to on my iPad, we're going to click on Davinci Resolve, and I'm going to select these videos. You can see that these videos are in vertical. Tech Gremlins got me today too. Yeah, I know with the static, right? Like that was a thing. But all right. So I have these, what is that? 6 videos. I went out for a walk this weekend, and so super quick, super simple. This was something I wanted to put on Instagram as a reel. They call it on Instagram, of just me walking, enjoying nature. I'm like, all right, so let me see how I can really edit this in a simple file. Doesn't have to be perfect. Let me see how I can learn how to edit this in DaVinci. And then I also want to bring in some of their plugins. Let's see if we can figure this out. So cool. Those are selected. Let's hit open. Okay, check this out. Change product frame rate. The selected clips have a different frame rate to the project, which is true because on my iPhone, when I record on my iPhone, I record at 24 frames per second because I want to have more of a cinematic, like slow-mo kind of deal with the stuff that I do when I'm out and about. So yes, I would always recommend you changing the frame rate. So let's hit change. I'm trying to bring this as close as possible to my mouth. There you go. So while I lean in, that should be better. Okay, so now we have these 6 clips imported. Um, and so this is standard, right? So you can kind of scrub through what I'm showing. So if I wanted to kind of play through it and see where it is, or if I wanted to scrub through it over here with what it is, right? So simple stuff. That's the same with, so if you have some video editing experience, you should be good with some of these, right? It should be intuitive to you. Same thing. So if I wanted to come over here, see what this looks like. All right, no problem. Perfect. So what I want to do is I want to start off and it looks like, yes, we drag it down to the timeline. That's cool. And if what do I do here? I don't know. I can move this way. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is where the actual timeline is on the bottom, I want to make that smaller. So on LumaFusion down here, so if you look at my hands, right, like usually you can just like pinch. That's not working. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Hmm. You know, another thing that it didn't do was that it did not ask me if I wanted to do this in vertical mode. So you can see that there's the bars on the left and right side. And I know that that is a setting, but okay. Again, I'm going to try to get through some stuff quickly. So this will be a good exercise, right? I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. And then the stuff that I don't know, I can just go in and try to Google it and see. And then we can maybe do a part two once I kind of familiarize myself. But that can be kind of a pain in the butt, right? If I want to go over here. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so that's something that's different. You have your red marker on top, and that's how you scrub through it, right? So you can see I'm scrubbing very quickly on the top, but then there's this thing here. All right, I don't I feel very out of place is how I feel. But that's all right. That's what happens when you learn new things. That's what happens when you learn new things. I really just want to make this smaller. Okay, so that's how you can make that simple. That's intuitive. So I grab the little menu. So you have your audio bars all the way. If we look at all the way on the move my mouse a little bit. If we look at over here on the right hand corner, there's the little hamburger menu, the menu. We can drag that up if I want to see more of the timeline. We can drag that down. So that's just up and down. I can go left and right there. That's perfect. Let's see. Where else? Looks like that's about it. This is really going to drive me nuts. I want to make this timeline smaller. What's this here? Oh, that's your color grading. Okay, so it has the full color grading. We are not even going to get into that today, but that's fine. So this is what they call the cut page. What's this here? Oh, so I don't want to see this. This is if you want to mute the audio. So on the bottom left-hand side, you got your little, there's a lock. Then there is the, what is that, speaker. So that's muting any audio that's coming through. And then if I didn't want to, I wanted to disable the video clip. That's that there. There's the blade. So I'm sure. Hey. Oh, this is adding, that's not a blade. India, you're blind. Do I have the right glasses on? What I did was I just added a bunch of different um lines. Okay, hold on. So you see it added 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's delete that. Oh shoot. I deleted the wrong one. Oh my goodness. What's happening here? And that's not, I just deleted the whole thing. Oh, so there's my timeline. Can I bring this back down? No. And where am I? Okay, that's me walking. So if we come back, can I double click? So double clicking. All right, let's work there. Double clicking brings it to your inspector window. I can take the brackets. Yep, I can make that smaller where I want my entry point. So let's say I just want to show me walking, my feet, right? And okay. Okay. Perfect. So how do I play this part here? I'll bring that back in. Let's bring this over this way. And now I can drag that down. Perfect. And it only dragged down that section. Yep. All right. So it only dragged down that section there. That's good. Okay. And then you can see as I go through it, you can see the audio lines of me walking, right? On the audio lines are moving. So that's fine there. I really thought that was a blade, but it is not. But if I do want to cut, I do see the scissors. Okay. So how do I? Oh, okay. 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 I see what just happened. Where's the undo? There's the undo. Okay. Okay. Oh, let me see. Come back over here. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So you got I don't know what these I would miss the magnetic timeline. So there is a little magnet here, Paul. I think I got to do more research. I'll get back to you on that. But I do see a little magnet and I feel like that will do what the magnetic timeline does um in Final Cut Pro. So you have the timeline, the scrubber head, right? The playhead. There's two. There is the longer red playhead, which is right over here, right? That's right in your timeline, and then the scrubber on top. And so with the scrubber on top, let me put this. Yeah. So with the scrubber on top, you get to choose where do you want the playhead to be. So the playhead looks like it's always in that one place. And so if I wanted to cut at that same exact spot, right? So if I wanted to go to the spot that I was going to cut, then basically I got to move my scrubber, the little red one, to where I want to place the cut at. And then I'm going to click on the scissors. And now it cut where the playhead is, right? And you can see now between the two, if I come back over, there's a cut between here and here. Okay, no problem. So up on the top right hand, the top left hand, you have transitions, titles, and effects. Let's go into transitions. And so they do give you some default transitions. You have, what is this? Addictive resolve, blur resolve. So you have your dissolves, scroll down. There's some iris, there's some motions, there's some shapes, there's wipes, fusion, transitions. Oh, okay. So you can see on the screen, it says motion VFX. So I did download some free plugins. With that installer, here's the Motion VFX installer, what you guys are looking at. So you can see that these are 4 plugins that I did go ahead and download. They were free. So there's one for whatever this vertical is. It doesn't show me. There's this Luma. I think those are actual the transitions. Hello DV and then the M Hollow. So those are free. I was like, all right, I can mess around with some of these. This should be enough. They also do have tutorials here, right? So there's your installation, there's your workflow, managing media, all of that stuff, synchronizing. So they have their own on the iPad, which I think is really cool for something for free. Where if it's like, oh, okay, how do I get my stuff? I can just come in here. Hold on. Let me see if this works. If I bring in the iPad, yep. Let's see if this plays. Do I have to hit play? Oh, why is it not? Oh. So there's no sound. I'm not seeing sound. I didn't listen to any of this stuff here. But okay. Hold on. Was there a tutorial with a guy talking head? Okay, we know that he's talking. I feel like there's sound. Okay. Interesting. Okay, go to this dock connector system capture. India's Mac Studio. Oh, wait.
George for this.
No, but that took my whole screen over. goodness. What happened here? Oh, that was weird. It took over my whole monitor like Apple TV. I think you guys were able to hear that. So I do have playthrough on. If I come back and I hit play, and if we look at the sound, it says system capture. That's a whole nother thing for a whole nother, thing. But system capture. It would be nice if I want to. I'm sure there's something that I'm doing, but okay. Again, for another day, whatever. But the point is that they give you tutorials. And the other point of coming here was that I downloaded the installer. I clicked, you can see here it says re download. And then by downloading it, it actually already imported it into my, what is this called? Davinci, which I thought was actually really cool. So that's pretty cool. So let's use one of these motion VFX. There's a zoom and then there is a transition. Let's use this zoom. Place this in between. Okay. Come over here. Oh, so interesting. You guys can hear the sound there. You know what I'm not seeing? I'm not seeing a play button. So like on Final Cut Pro in the inspector, there's an actual play button. So if I wanted to see what this... Oh, that? There you go. Okay. Wait, did you guys see what... I didn't see... What? Okay, hold on. I did not see a transition, so... That was weird. Let's go back to the beginning of the video. And so how I got it to hit play was... What can I do? This inspector... under the inspector, so right under my image, under my feet, right? There's the stop, there's the rewind. If we keep going to the left, there's this little, it looks like a film strip with a play next to it. You see now it's red. That didn't do any transition though. Interesting. What if I move? No, because transitions are supposed to go between clips. Maybe because I don't have another clip. So let's undo that and I will bring another clip in, but let me, so what that was transition, and let's see the zoom. Let's hit play. Oh, maybe the clips are not long enough. Could be that the clips are not long enough. All right. So let's undo. Let's not use motion VFX. Let's cut it in the middle again. So I'm going to cut it in the middle. Does it look interesting? Don't lie to me, because I'm like, these guys probably think that I'm like a special person for not doing more research. But sometimes it's, I don't know, let's learn it together. Literally, I warned you guys, let's learn it together, David. So I know you wouldn't patronize me. Because I'm like, what? These guys are going to think, they're going to just be like, India, you're wasting our time. Okay. So how about I do this? What I'm going to do is I am going to take this video, bring this video up on top. I'm going to go back to my media and I'm going to select a totally different video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my Apple Watch and put this down here, right? If we hit play. And so now you can see me walking, showing you guys my activity. Stop. Okay. Oh my God. This is learning something new. On the phone, it's not so interesting. Don't see a lot. Well, I'm sorry, Marcus. I warned you it was going to be a tutorial 20 minutes before the stream actually started. But thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate you. Marcus, you were the third one. I had a train of thought. I literally just lost the thought. This is the stuff we would all be doing. This is the stuff we would all be doing behind locked doors. What do you mean? You saying something? Because I will punish you. I will punish you. Hey, girl, hey. Okay. So now you can see I have two different, let's throw this one out. This one on top. So now we're gonna go from transitioning, right? From me walking. That's not smooth neither. They're like, I'm wondering why this is not smooth. This is supposed to be smoother, but I'm seeing some things. All right. Okay, so let's go back to our transitions. This Luma, does this give me interesting? This does not. Let's put it in between. What does this do? Okay, did you guys see it? Please tell me you saw it. Did you guys see the transition? Can I make this bigger? Oh. Change. People don't like change. Learning something new is difficult, right? Like it's one of those things. All right, so I'm going to hit. So I'm just saying that because on LumaFusion, I can literally tap the inspector. You can see here I'm tapping on my watch. So I can tap the inspector on LumaFusion and it'll go full screen for me to see it. On Final Cut Pro, I don't even know, but there is a button up on the upper right hand side. It says full screen. So, okay. All right. And it does give us our timeline. Okay. So let's go back and let's watch this transition. That was a pretty smooth. That was okay. And let's make this smaller. That was a pretty smooth transition. That was actually not too bad. Not too bad. I really need to learn how to make this timeline smaller. What's this little gear icon? Nothing. Oh, that's giving my, oh, that's good. We can look at that. So master settings, timeline resolution, 1920 by 1080. Okay, so we can, no. Okay, here you go. We can go to Ultra HD. So I would want that. I did record this on the iPhone in 4K. So I would want that in 4K. Use vertical. That's what I was looking for. Use vertical resolution. So yes, we do want vertical resolution. Perfect. Aspect ratio square. CinemaScope. I don't. Okay. Can this have that has to be checked? Let's hit save. What does that do? I'm getting messages. Oh my God, do you guys hear that? Let me put my phone on do not. My phone is on do not disturb. Why are the messages coming through? Let me quit messages. That's weird. This looks, Gigi, what? This looks so much simpler than Gigi. I'm having a whole heart attack, like, because I have no idea what I'm doing, trying to figure this out. Also, recognizing that this is different and it's change and I'm learning something new. So I'm trying not to be frustrated because I know Final Cut, right? So I'm like, well, this is how you do it in Final Cut. And why can't you do it this way? So that's so funny that you're saying this looks so much simpler because that is not um how I feel. I was speaking of the secret learning process as oh, thank you, Paul. Got it. Right. That is exactly what we all do behind closed doors. You're 100% right. Thank you. It's not you. I know you wouldn't message me like on Messenger, but anyway. All right. So let's go back. Let's go back to the screen share. What's his name? David. Don't be mad at me. I don't know why my brain is. No, you do not. You need an M1 or an M2. So mine is the M1 iPad. I don't know if it's limited to the M versions or if you can use one of the previous ones, but because this is the I just had to yell at Koa. Because Davinci is this is the full, technically the full version. I believe it's highly, if it's not required, it's highly recommended, because you need a faster processor on it. So this is the M1. I don't know. I'll get the better answer for you, but I know I would say start with one of the M versions of the iPad. Final Cut is stacked and it's hard for me to edit. I mean, this looks a lot like Final Cut because you got the inspector. I don't know, but looks more logical. It's how everybody else thinks. So, all right, so let's go back. So, what I'm looking at now is the inspector window. It's giving us -5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's a countdown to 0 if we go back. But you know what's interesting is that I changed the settings, right? That's interesting. Look at how I changed the settings to vertical. And oh, I wonder, timeline resolution. Let me change this back. 1080 by 1920. Save. There you go. Why are the black bars there? What's this X? Okay. That's fine. I can figure that out. But that was interesting. All right, so what I was trying to say was basically you see the motion VFX transitions did download. It installed automatically, so you can see that it is there. If I wanted to delete this, so I highlighted that transition. If we look at it one more time, that was actually a pretty nice transition. So if I just come back, it was like a fade in of like a, yeah. That was actually a pretty cool transition if I'm doing something right. If I wanted to show you guys, I don't know. So these are some of the other, what's happening here? These are obviously some of the other ones. The most popular, right, are the like dissolves and things like that. We'll leave this for now. Let's move over to the titles. So what I have heard is that like the default titles that do come with the application, like the default effects, for lack of better words, that do come with Davinci Resolve are much nicer and much better than what like Final Cut Pro gives you and stuff like that. So, you know, you got some simple, so you see like scale and slide lower thirds. What I want to see is, oh, okay. So it does give you kind of a preview. I'd like to know, I'd like to see that full screen a little bit bigger instead of bringing that in. So you can see that it's on the timeline on top. Oh, there it is. Okay. So if we do this background reveal lower third, you I don't know how to preview this is basically what I'm trying to say to you guys, right? Like usually you bring this into, you click on it on Final Cut Pro and you can play it and it'll show you what it looks like even before bringing it into your timeline. I feel like there has to be a way. I just need to learn it. All right. So if I wanted to have, and I'm going to do a little bit of everything. There's title dramatic. What I was looking for to see if Motion VFX had their own, they do. Here's another thing that's really cool as well. It's in alphabetical order, right? So you can see here, we're starting off with B, background, blah, blah, blah. So I scroll down. All right, cool, Motion VFX. So let's use one of these that came for free. There's the logo, the bar, hello bar. What's this hello bar? That looks like it's like, it looks like it could be a YouTube subscribe one. DV title. What else do we have? And then there's their like there's like holographic. So let me see this bar one. Oh, I clicked up too high. Hello DV over here. Let's put this right on top. See what this, and it is, you can see the little YouTube here, right? The little logo. All right. Usually, if we want to edit this in Final Cut Pro, as well as in LumaFusion. So I'm not just going off of Final Cut Pro. I'm also going off of when I've been editing for the last 2 years on my iPad on LumaFusion. It works the same exact way. That's why I'm like, what's intuitive, what's native to me as I've used video editing apps. So usually you can double click. Double clicking is not doing anything. Okay. So what I'm going to assume is I'm going to click on inspector. Oh, yes. So I clicked on inspector on the upper right-hand side. Oh, hey, what's up? Can you click full screen at the top to preview? Yes. Who is this, my friend? Sorry. To the right, top right. Yes. So, but full screen is only going to give us full screen of the actual video, not, that's what the full screen is. Like basically, if you want to see what that looks like, this is what the actual app is full screen. So Um, let me see. Let me just come back. A12, and that's a fact. Thank you so much, Dean. A12 Bionic chip or later. iPad 6. So yeah, I remembered vaguely that it was not limited to M1s, but you absolutely. Hey, Jody, what's going on? How are you? Jody, haven't seen you in a while. If it's the Jody that I'm thinking about. Um, so yeah, but I would recommend. Oh, and there you go, Paul, with more facts. You'll likely be wanting to use one of the latest things. There you go. All right, all right, all right. As far as its space on the iPad, which takes less space, Davinci or I haven't even gotten that far, K-Walk. Like this is my first time literally opening it, throwing some media on here and seeing what's what. I know I missed earlier, but is it best to load files or can you edit from an SSD? That's a good question. That's a good question. So here's another thing. So let's just come back over here real quick. I was glad you guys know that I upgraded to the M1 iPad, what, 2 or 3 months ago. Basically, when they announced, I think the M2, there were deals, and I decided I was thinking about, do I get the M2? Do I get the M1? I found a steal for the M1 iPad. I would recommend, again, if you're talking about, if you know that this is what you're going to do, you're going to try to edit with, even if it's on LumaFusion or something like that. The M1 and M2 versions of the iPads have Thunderbolt ports. So, K-Walk, to answer your question, I know in LumaFusion you can edit directly from an SSD. Haven't gotten that far, but I know that you can have an SSD connected and import, right? So if we go back to the screen and if we go to where it says media, if I go to, oh, I don't even know how to import media now. Why do we get that? Master, add bin. That's files. Just going to do bin one. Can I come here? Oh, oh, oh. Well, that's how I did it at the beginning, K Walk. Under media, there was a box here. What's this down? Import. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Guys, look. Hold on. Espérate. Look. There it is. Import from photos. Import media. Import photo. Photo. Import from photos. I was looking for that. Let me show you. Look. So under media, there's this little arrow thing. Let me see. I got mad excited. Right? See that like box with the arrow down? And when you click on it, there. I gotta change screen because now I can go back to saying I need to see because I may have some inappropriate pictures. So let me look at this import from photos. They're not inappropriate, but it's, my girlfriend was just sending me selfies. Literally selfies. That y'all don't need to see her beautiful face like that. That's only for me. She's not naked or anything. Gosh, get your minds out of the gutters, guys. All right, so it's exactly that. We're going to come to it, but it's saying Davinci Resolve would like to access your photos. You can select, or you can allow access to all. Let's allow access to all. And now that I got that picture out the way, we can come back. The two pictures. What are we doing? Screen share. Oh, look, I made this really small. That was weird. Let's come back. All right. You can see me making silly faces. This is the life of a long distance relationship. Those are the faces. Those are the videos I send my girlfriend. My girlfriend sends me my girlfriend sends me sexy pictures of her beautiful face. And this is what I send Angie. You see that picture in the middle? That is what I send pictures to Angie. Okay. All right. Yes, you come with the questions. Oh, it is Jody. Jody, what's going on, man? Yeah. Good to see you. Thanks. All right. So let me come back over here. You guys can stare at my funny pictures. What size spec M1 did you get? iPad did you get? I'm trying to get my kids to edit morning announcements. They have iPads, but I'm having them use iMovie. Kiss, keep it simple, 100%. Kevin, I saw you. All right. So again, you can see here, right? Me and Koa. There's nothing else we're going to hang out right there. But okay, so that answered my question from the issues that I had before. If I wanted to download one of those other pictures, or if I wanted to just do whatever this is, I don't know. I'm just going to throw me and Koa up there. Or if we go to videos, there you go. There's the videos, right? Those are the videos that I had. So if I wanted to download any of these videos, I can go in. Now I can, let's say, select this walking one. Oh, there's 2 added. That's fine. Okay. And now we downloaded these 2 videos. That was perfect. Okay. Let's go back. So let's go back to K-Walk's question because that was like super exciting. M1, M2 iPads, Thunderbolt port. You can get a faster SSD, right? That whether it's USB-C SSD, use a Thunderbolt port so that you can get faster transfer speeds, whether you're importing media, exporting media, or if it does in fact allow for you to edit from the SSD, then obviously you would want, that's when you'll take full advantage of the Thunderbolt port. Um, that's that. So I was super excited, and you can go as far as, I think I did a live stream. I did show you guys that I do have a Thunderbolt SSD drive. So I got it on sale from B&H. I got like 2 terabytes. So you can get them, or you can make your own from Sabrent and OWC. You can make a Thunderbolt nice little slim drive, or you can buy them for a couple of $100. If it is something that you're going to be doing mostly on the iPad and stuff like that, I would highly recommend. And if you do have the M1, right? If you got, now you've upgraded your computer, there's Thunderbolt 4 ports, you upgraded your iPad, and the iPad has the Thunderbolt ports, I would 100% say get an SSD card, get a Thunderbolt SSD, or build your own, or they have them that you can also build out and get a Thunderbolt one, because that is going to be the fastest. It's going to be the best for you. So that is that. And K-Walk, I'll do better answers. I got to do research for that because I don't know if it lets you, like the way you can with Final Cut and LumaFusion, that you can just create a project library on your SSD and edit from there. I'm guessing that because Final Cut Pro, you can do it. I'm guessing that you probably can do the same thing. I would need to research it, and I'll circle back and I'll let you know. Great question, though. Paul, would you be able to put this in a shared note, some like that question? And if we get any other questions, can you do me that solid? So like that, when I do research, that's good stuff to kind of revisit back for the questions that the community had. We did answer the question about what is the minimum spec requirement that's needed to run Davinci on the iPad. And then going back to Gretchen's question, what size spec did you get on your iPad? So I did get the M1. It is the 12.9. I've had the 12.9 for years. If you use it the way I use it, so whether it's for handwritten notes or for video editing, I 100% recommend that you get the 12.9. I would say the 11-inch, it's good. I love the 11-inch. It's great for consuming content, right? So if you're going to be reading articles, reading newspapers, reading books, watching videos, the 11-inch iPad is fantastic to consume because it is the right size. Like if you want to hold it in one hand, you're sitting on the sofa, have it on your lap or something like that, or even travel. But if you're going to be creating content, editing pictures, Gretchen, right? Like things like that, editing videos, writing notes, get the 12.9. The 12.9 is considered like the size of a notebook, a regular like 8.5 by 11 notebook, the paper. That's what made me change from the 11-inch to the 12.9, because it's the same size as a notebook. And so when I'm writing, I have that true to size feeling. And then, like I said, looking at it, you can see right over the shoulder shot. If you guys see the over the shoulder shot, right? I don't want to unplug it. I mean, I guess I can. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. So for comparison, let me just close this here. For comparison, this is what is it? The 10.9, the new iPad 10.9, which is technically 11 inches. This is, so let's say 11 inches. If I go and I put this on the corner here, you can see the size difference. Hey, what's happening here? Oh, I see, because it's, let me, maybe if I do this, there you go. You can see, there you go. The glare, that was weird. So you can see at 10.9 versus 12.9, especially if you're editing, the screen real estate that you get, much better. I would 100% recommend getting the 12.9. Now, again, holding this, right? This is a nice size to hold. If I just move this out the way for a little bit, this is a nice size to hold the iPad, right? I come in, my Touch ID, right? This is nice if I want to, do I have Google on here? I feel like I have Google on here, right? If I want to read an article, and even if I want to have it in portrait mode like this, right? This is definitely a nice size to read an article. Or again, if you're watching a YouTube video, we come in to YouTube, you're watching YouTube. This is absolutely a great size, much lighter and just easier to hold, even if I were to hold it with one hand, right? Versus the 12.9. But again, if you are editing, let's bring this back over here to be in the shot. I would 1,000% recommend. Let me just plug that in. And so, oh, hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm just plugging my iPad back in so I can make sure I know what's going on. And I lost a video. Oh, there it is. I lost a video there. And the reason why I ended up going with the 11-inch, that's because that's what I'm using for the teleprompter for this. And so for the size, the smaller bezels and things like that, that's, I think, perfect for the teleprompter. And I did get it with a little bit more storage. So like that, if I did ever want to use it and take it out and not have the bulkier 12.9, that's that. So those are great questions. Let's come back over here and let's go to, so what I did was I highlighted the title, right? And then I clicked on inspector on the upper right-hand side. And we got to bring, where's the playhead? Let's bring the playhead to right here. And if we take a look, so I'm going to bring this, I can bring this closer to you guys over here. I got to look at it. I have no idea. So all I'm doing is I'm looking on the on the right. That's the video. So there's the title, the settings, the frame controls, content controls. You can pop these open. So if I come over here, show you pop these open, you can see text controls. Perfect. That's what I wanted. So if you see the text controls, you can put your YouTube website there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to type in my website really quick. India Delgado. Perfect. You can change the font. So if we come over here, there is the font. You can install fonts to your iPad. So if you did want to install a font to your iPad, or if you already installed a font to your iPad, I am pretty confident that if it's installed on the default on the iPad, it will show up. I haven't done any of that stuff with my iPad just yet. So these are kind of defaults. So here are all the fonts, which it actually has. That's a lot of fonts. So let's use Futura for now. What else is here? So those are your text controls, right? So you can make it bold. You can change the color. Obviously, this is a white against a black background. You can change the size if you want. So if you look at the preview, the size, we actually need to make that a little bit smaller because my name, I was cutting it off. Line spacing, let me see. So you have icon control. So you can change a lot of that stuff. The icon type. Ooh, that's cool. Let's check this out. So let's drop that down. Ooh, I like that. So you can put your logo. You can put a custom logo. If you wanted to not have this, let's say for YouTube, you can actually put Instagram and it changed it. I know that that's super small. So watch. So check this out. So I'm going to leave it at YouTube. Let's do full screen. I lost it. Oh. Okay, there it is. I'm like, what's happening? Let's bring this back up. Let's go back to my scroll wheel. All right, so let's do this. Let's play full screen. Okay, let's see. Let's bring this to the beginning. Okay. It's still kind of small, so I'm sure I can make that a little bit smaller. So let's get out of here. So I want to do some things. So the first thing I want to do intuitively is that I need to make this, I got to bring this in, right? Okay. So bringing that in, because I want it to end at the same time as the video. If I want to bring it in a little bit more, I can make it a little bit smaller. Okay. And now if I want to make, so my inspector window is open. What I'm looking at, if we go back, content controls, content position. So the very first one is content controls, your position, your scale. If I want to make this bigger, does that? Yep, that's what, perfect. So you can see I'm scaling it, and I'm scaling this up because I want this to fit the entire frame. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here because I want to go towards the end, because I want to make sure that once it's full size, it's not out, right? It's not getting cut off. So if I wanted to have a little bit of border, I can have a little bit border, or if I wanted to just fill up basically as much as possible, you can kind of do that. I think like that is good. I don't know what that, there's like a border. All right, but let's go back. I'll just come from here. Let's go back into full screen, and now let's hit, no. And let's hit play. That's the, oh. Well, why didn't it hide that? Well, that's weird. I would have liked for it to, oh, now it did. All right, so maybe because it was, all right, so let me hit play. That's so weird. So that thing doesn't stay on, it stays in the way. But you know, it's not horrible, right? You guys get to see. And if I wanted to move that up, okay, that's another thing. Let me show you guys. So let's get out of here. That would be your content position under the content control. So if I wanted to move that, especially depending on where you're going to upload this, right? If you're going to upload this, actually, it's the same in both Instagram and on YouTube, right? The controls are on the bottom. You know, so like the name, the description, you know, the same thing with Instagram. So I would suggest taking this title and moving it. You see, I have a lot of space on the top. So let's go ahead and let's do content position is the x-axis. Oh, can I not? Oh, I don't. Interesting. So that's let me open this. Position. So maybe not, hold on, let me go back. What is this up? This part over here is content scale, content position. There's two positions. Oh, that's the anchor. No, I want the content. So what I said was interesting is that you see how there's this little clicky wheel, the rotation, right? You can see I'm rotating it. So with the pencil, right, for it to be intuitive as using the pencil. Let me just bring this back. Oh my goodness. Can I hit undo? Okay, there you go. So what's interesting is that there's not a way for me to do the same thing with the scale. In LumaFusion, you can, and then the same thing in Final Cut, like on the computer, you can use your mouse, the scroll wheel on your mouse to go up or down or left or right or something like that. That's interesting that they didn't give you anything. Get out. Because I have no idea. And okay, maybe. Koa, get out. Out. That's also not. So the other thing that you can do, I'm going to say that we're going to initially blame this on my lack of knowledge, right? My unfamiliarity with this app. Because there's also the cropping and the framing that you can literally, I should be able to just click on this here on this inspector, and I should be able to manually like double click this and move this around in the frame as well. And I'm not seeing that anywhere. My settings. Okay, transform, zoom, plus. Nope. Settings. So, okay. Wait. So look, we got cropping. So we got transform. So I don't want to zoom. See, but again, you have some lines here. Cropping. I don't want cropping. There's dynamic zoom, opacity. Interesting. Pitch, yaw. I don't like that because then I have to type it in and it's like, no, I just want to be able to drag this. Let me see. Oh, that's portrait. That's fine. That's cool. Quick shortcut of how I want this to look. I do want this in portrait mode, but you can see that you can select 4K, 1080p, portrait, or square. So you can change the framing there. This is again for, I guess, removing that. What's this? Oh, is that it? No. So this gave me stuff, but this is like for framing and cropping the actual picture. Oh, no. Mm. Mm. All right. So that's something else I have to learn because that's just that, in my opinion, is if you're using it on the iPad with an Apple Pencil, that is counterintuitive for me to have to go in and manually change, right? If I go and I type in 1.0, enter. Oh, that was the wrong one. So it's not the X axis, it's the Y axis. So if I change this on the Y axis to 1.0, enter. See how that moved it too much. I want to get out of here. I don't want that. How do I hide that? Okay, I don't even know how to turn that off now. Oh my goodness. I did something. Oh, there it is. Okay. And let's go back. But you see now it's all the way on top. I would just have to move this down. So if we go back, what's that? Okay, I can put it on there. It gives me my keyboard. That's nice, but I don't want it on the keyboard. If we come back and let's delete this, let's do 0.65, enter. Yeah, you see how this can be like a pain in the ass? 0.75, enter. No. 0.80, enter. No. Why? Okay, did we say 0.85? Okay, 0.85. That was a pain in the ass. All right, so let's come back. Let's go scrubbing, right? So we come here. Let's do full screen. Let's see what this looks like now here. Let's hit play. And so you see much better there. All right, so that's something for me to learn as well because it's either counterintuitive or I don't know how to use it. So those are your transitions and titles. I used one that was for motion VFX. And now these are effects itself. So what are these effects? So there's like invert color, color generator, resolve FX light. So you can do light rays. There's FX refine, revival. So these are all, it looks like, default Davinci. So there's sharpen edges, drop shadows, edge, mirrors, pencil sketch. There's the vignette. So if I did want a vignette, there's some blur, motion blur, right? There's warping. So let's say we wanted to add this vignette. Where did I see the vignette? Okay. Let's say I want to bring the vignette. We're just going to mess around with the first half. Let's bring this down. Oh, and that added a nice vignette, right? So you can see if we go back to undo, it gave the little vignette around the top corners, the top and bottom corners. We go back. Can I redo? There's the vignette, right? So it just focuses on my feet. Let's go back to the inspector. Can I adjust that vignette? Let's click on the pencil. There you go. All right, so on the inspector, I clicked on the little wand and you can see what's highlighted in red. It does say vignette, operating mode basic. You can change to advanced. You can do the size. So let's see. So this is what I mean by the sliders, right? So that's interesting. Oh, maybe that's motion. Okay. So maybe that limitation with the slider was Motion VFX didn't implement that. So I wonder if I send Motion VFX that clip of that video and I explain, I wonder if they'll update the plugin to be used on the iPad to give, because this is what I mean by having the sliders. You can see that on the right hand side, there's the number. So if you know what the numerical value is, you type it in directly just to get that boom. But if I needed to mess around with, let's go ahead and let's look at this size, right? I'm going to drag this size up because let's say I wanted to have the size just right in the middle. Like I just wanted to focus on my feet, right? Yeah, look, there you go. Right. So you can see when you're using an Apple Pencil and editing on the iPad, how intuitive that is and how much easier that is. Right. So the vignetting, I made that much larger or much smaller, I guess, because I'm going in the opposite direction. What is this anamorphism? What is this? Oh, look, you can change the shape. That's pretty cool. So you can do like that. If we come, let's do like that. Okay. Now you can change the color of the vignette. Usually vignettes are supposed to be black, but if I wanted to change this to red, I guess, for whatever reason, or maybe if you wanted to have it in white, right? Where vignettes are black. So we're going to go back to black, but that's cool. You have some blending, global blending, right? If to blend it in, I guess that's fine. I'm not going to mess around with that. Oh, I wonder what basic is to advanced is. So you can change, it says the center position, right? So if I wanted to bring the vignetting a little bit further down, what I also noticed is that there are not sliders for that. I would have to type in the value there. That's interesting. Or oh look, oh it changed. They gave me some stuff, border shape oval. Look, now we went from changing from basic to advanced. If I wanted to do a diamond, did that do anything? That's the border. Doesn't look like triangle. Oh, it is. Oh, I see it. You can see now in the triangle, right? So let's go back. The triangle goes kind of like this to my feet, right? So you can see it's an upside down triangle, right? So if we go back and let's change this to hexagon. Let me see. And maybe not rotation. Can we see the anamorphism? I don't know where we would see that, but I know I was able to triangle. Oh, there it is. Oh, look, and you can change the rotation. Okay, that's cool. So if I wanted to have it, I like the way it was before. Can I do the size? That's interesting. And then, oh, okay. The anamorphism there. And there's that. Oh, that's not too bad, right? And then again, so if you wanted to mess around with any of these, then you have your oval, right? So let's do triangle. I'm going to leave the triangle. And then what I was saying was the center. So again, if I wanted to move this down, oh no, look, there's a slider right there. So I double clicked right on the Y axis number where it says 0.5. And by double clicking, you can type in the numbers. Again, it's intuitive. You can either type in the numbers, so you can punch that in directly to where you want, or check this out using my Apple Pencil. Because again, when I'm on my iPad, I want to use my Apple Pencil. I want it to be as simple as possible. I'm going to go back now. Okay, but so now check that out, right? So I focused in on my feet. So let's go back. Let's go to the beginning. And now let's see what this looks like. Obviously, I wouldn't, but again. And you saw how that faded out, faded in. Okay, right? And so basically, right? And if I wanted to bring in another file, so that's cool. Okay, so we went to transitions. We went to transitions. We went to titles. We went to effects. Thank you, Kevin. If you have not remembered to hit that like button, don't forget to hit that like button. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Okay, so interesting. Let me see, maybe I missed it. So I'm gonna again click on that. I didn't miss it. India, you didn't miss it. You gave him the benefit of the doubt. You didn't miss it. Maybe. Hold on. Let me double click. No, no, it's not there. So I feel like, honestly, that maybe motion VFX, because I know that they were kind of, I don't want to say they were rushing, but I know that they were trying to get this out as quickly as possible. So I'm pretty confident that if they send out an update to, what's this called? Their iPad installer, they can add a slider literally right on the right-hand side the way Davinci has it on their default apps. And that's what I would want, right? So either a slider there or on the bottom. So I'm going to send that feedback because I think that that's really good feedback. So check this out. So how about we go back to titles, and I'm not going to use I want to use a motion VFX title. So if we come back and we just do a center reveal. Let's bring this on top. I'm just making it the same size as the Davinci. Highlight this, go back to my inspector, and there's text, right? So let's come in, and I'm just going to do the same thing. HTTPS. What does that say? Oh, no, it just has www. So let's do this. Hey. All right, so unshift www.youtube.com/India Delgado, right? Okay. Because what I want to see is basically, and again, the font, all of that stuff is the same, no problem. Let's move the motion VFX out of the way, right? So let's move that there just so we're going to operate. You see, it's there. Okay. So it's over my watch. You can't really see it. And so then what I'm going to do is you have your content scale, right? So again, do you want to make this smaller? Let's highlight this. Let's go back. Oh, there's your size, right? Okay, so do we want to make this bigger? No, we don't want to make this bigger. We want to make sure it fits in just like that. Tracking, line spacing, there's your anchor, motion blur. Your anchors are not, so what the anchors are is that if I play this, the anchors are basically, because this is a reveal, it's a center reveal. So what the anchor is, and you can see, right, because it's right in the middle. What the anchor does is that when you have something that is a reveal or something that's a push in or a push out, your anchor is your starting point or where it's going to finish off at, right? So you don't, with this is not what I'm looking for. I want to move this up to the top, or let's say move it down to the bottom. And I'm not seeing where to change this to, right? So it's not the V anchor, and the V anchor also very small. I don't think I can't make this bigger. Hmm. I can change the color. So if I wanted to make this stand out a little bit, let's see if blue's a little bit better. Blue is not a little bit better. Red, maybe. No. Yellow, we might have to keep it at the black. I think it was black, or was it white? White for now. Again, I wouldn't necessarily use that there, but. And the tracking isn't it neither. Settings. Oh, all I had to do was press tab. Here you go. Settings. Okay. So again, you have your zoom, normal, all of that stuff. Let's come back up here. So if we click on position, so if I do the same thing, I double tap. Yep. And it's on the Y axis. So I want to go up and down. We're going to click on up, and you can see it's moving up and down. Right? So so it's a Davinci Resolve. I mean, a motion VFX. That other one is an issue with the motion VFX with just not having that little slider. They must have missed that. And so if I wanted to have it there, right? And so you can see, right. So that's what I mean. So let's go back. Let me play this from the beginning. And I actually need to make this a little bit smaller. So if I come back when it's full size there. So I actually need to change. That's like impossible to see. So I wouldn't use this title on a vertical format, honestly. I'm gonna let it get cut off so we can see. And what's the line spacing? Yeah, the line spacing isn't gonna do anything because there's only one line here. So let's come back to the beginning of this. Let's hit full screen. Let's hit play. And so you can see, right, can I come back? And you can see it's also dropping frames as well. Supposedly, it runs with no issues on the M2. Listen, it wasn't worth. I got my M1. Oh, Gretchen, I also the specs, it was 512 gig. So it's 512 gig, 12.9 M1. I got it for like $800 open box. Brand new. So I was not going to say no to that because you won't get that deal anywhere. For 512 gigs, you won't get that deal anywhere. But I'm definitely happy that I got the 512 because now as I'm starting to do more videos and things like that, like being able to, and if I really get the hang of editing on the iPad, having that space without needing to edit onto an SSD, that's perfect, right? Because then I can do the complete edits. I won't slow down my process or my projects. And then once I'm done with the edits on the iPad, I can then export it over to I can export it over to an SSD card. Now, here's the other reason I didn't finish telling you why, but the other reason why I said I'm like internally, it's one of those things of let me see if I can really get into the flow and can I make DaVinci on the iPad work? Will I like it? I feel like I'm going to be honest, having plugins from a big installer like Motion VFX, having that there is going to be a game changer. That's what's really leaning me towards there. The other piece of it is because it's the same as the desktop app. I can take a pre-recorded video, a video on demand, and if I know that I need to edit the mess ups, right? Like if I know that I said something and I just got to chop it up or I need to edit the dead space, I can finish recording this video. I can go upstairs. I can sit on the sofa. I can edit with my pencil and just do chop, 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 do all those cuts, get it the way I want it to get it. And then, because it's the Davinci Resolve app, it's going to be the same on the computer. And I can just import that file, share it with my desktop. And then with the desktop, I can do the more serious things like color grading, like audio editing, and like really fine tuning if there's any, even with the B-roll, honestly, if I had B-roll already pre-recorded, I can come in and throw the B-roll up on top. I can kind of do all of that stuff all on the iPad. And then I can come back down here when I need to export, right? Because my Mac Studio is going to be much more powerful and much more quicker to export a bigger file versus doing it on the iPad. So I can do my exports. Again, the color grading, right? And we can take a look at color grading. Noel, ¿qué lo que? ¿Cómo estás, amigo? Gracias. Gracias. He said he loves the red mic. All right, so check this out. So we went over some simple things. Let's come back over here. And we've been streaming for almost 2 hours now. So we're going to continue this. I'm going to do some more research on my own. I'm going to continue this specific edit. So what I'm going to do today is I want to import a sound. We're going to import a sound, bring that in. We're going to mute the audio track here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some color grading right now really quick because they said that the color grading page is literally the same exact page as the color grading on full desktop mode. And, if you do research and if you know anything about Davinci Resolve, that is supposedly the color grading on Davinci Resolve is like king. All right, so check this out. So let's make this smaller. I am going to delete that one. I want to bring this one back over here. Let's go in. Okay. I feel like I did some, or I did move the content scale a little bit. Let's move that back. What did I say? I wanted to show you guys some color grading. Um, so let's color grade that. The sneakers definitely look washed out. Those are turquoise sneakers. So they were bright blue, and there's pink laces. Think Miami Heat. That's what these colors. That's the colorway. So if you know the Miami Heat colors, it's the black, that turquoise blue, and the hot pink. That's what these sneakers are. So this looks washed out, and I'm sure it's probably because of the HDR footage. But if I wanted to adjust that, I'm color grading right now and color swapping an abstract photo. Very cool. So let's click on the color grading wheel. All right. So, I mean, the color grading. No, I don't want that. What am I doing? Where's the color grading? Oh, over here, the little circles down. This is a lot. Did you see me pause? I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at. I just started to learn to color grade on Final Cut Pro. And what's interesting, it's so on Final Cut Pro, it's called highlights, shadows, midtones. Okay. That's okay. Oh, they're on the bottom. Okay. Never mind. I look. They're on the bottom. I see it. On the very bottom, you got shadows, highlights, midtone, saturation, hue. There's Lume Mix, color boost. So basically, with your color grading, if you should, yes, okay. I took the Apple Pencil. So if we come over here, hey, what did I do here? Oh no, close. So all I'm doing is on. If you look, all right. So you can see that a little bit better. That's the most that I have it to zoom in. If I wanted to zoom in, hold on, let me see what I can do right quick. All right. Just so you can see like what I'm going to do with the color grading wheels, all I'm doing is I'm taking the Apple Pencil, and you can see that there's the white dot in the middle. And all I'm going to do is if I just go into, or we can, so there's scroll wheels like on the bottom here. So I'm on the gain. So if I go to the left, right, you can see the scroll wheels there, right? And that's changing. It looks like it's actually changing. So what I need to do is let's go back here. How do I remove? I want to remove. I don't know how to remove effects. Oh, there's a trash. So I went back to my thing. I can. I deleted the vignette for now. I deleted the vignette. And technically, the way you're supposed to do it is that you're supposed to be doing your color grading first. You color grade your whole video. You work on your audio first, right? So you color grade your whole video. You adjust your audio for the whole video first before any edits, before any cuts. So if you're going to color grade, get the tones right, right? So I've recently just started color grading. So if you look at the last video I just put up on contacting Ecamm, that video is color graded to get a little bit more of my natural skin tone because I do get a little bit washed out. There's a new video that's about to be released with Live Streaming Pros on their channel that I did, another one. And before I sent that in to be edited, I actually color graded it for myself, the actual file, and then I sent it in because I wanted to make sure, right? Like somebody else doing an edit, and if they've never met me in person, the color grade may not be what I feel like is an accurate representation. So that video that's going to come out with from LSP, the next one with me on it, I actually color graded that myself as well, just to get a little bit more of the reds, a little bit more saturated. So I focused a little bit more on the midtones. So the reds, which for me are also my skin tones, right? To bring it, because I was looking a lot pale. I was looking pale. All right, so let's come back over here. Because like what I was trying to say basically is that you want, before you do any effects, any titles, any cuts or anything like that, you should be fixing all the audio first. You should be doing all the color grading Um, so that you get it, it's all done, and then you can start to chop up your video, so on and so forth. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so if we go in, let's double click on, I want to double click on highlights. Cool. So if we double click on highlights, it does open up the little slider. You can see that over here. If you look at the picture below me, did I make that picture smaller? No. Okay. And so let's drag the highlights up, and you can see, right, it's making the picture super washed out. Let's drag the highlights down. Now check this out. Look at the sneakers, right? I'm going to go back and put it in the middle, wherever this was. Can I just go back? Let's go back. Okay, so the highlights are at 0. As I start to, I think it was go down. As I start to go down, the sneakers start to get punchier to what they really are. Oh no, maybe not. I don't know. On my screen, it looks like, yeah, because everything is coming down. Yeah, definitely. Right. That makes sense. It's getting darker so you can see the colors for what it is. All right. So if we click on saturation, and the good thing is that if you look at these numbers, you can just kind of mess around with all of this stuff. I think a lot of times, sometimes people get scared. Now you can see, yeah, the saturation is what's really changing it, right? Like I got to bring that up a lot higher though. The saturation is what's really changing it. And what you want is that the worst thing is that you can either hit undo, 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 right? You can't break it. So it's like if you want to get to know how to really color grade and how to change all of that stuff, the best thing is to just go ahead and like actually do it. And you can either just start from scratch, or you can just remember the numbers, write them down on a piece of paper, take a picture. And if you're like, oh my God, I totally messed this up, you can just reset the values to what they were, and then you're good to go. Um, Kevin says, question, squirrel. Kevin says, question of the squirrel, question of the day. You are the fourth person to squirrel me today, fourth or fifth maybe. Any recommendations for vinyl wrap, demos, information? Want to play around with wrapping my MV7 dupe I picked up from Amazon. So the paper I would say is get actual vehicle vinyl wrap paper. I used Vivid with extra V's, Vivid vinyl wrap. Use a blow dryer. So Jackie, I'm sure, has a blow dryer. Unless you guys have a heat gun, use a heat gun is preferable because it's going to heat up much more quickly. If not, I don't have a heat gun. I just used a blow dryer. That makes the paper pliable. And I watched car wrap videos. Watch where they're talking about, like, if you watch where they're talking about how to wrap the hood or how to wrap, the side view mirrors, because it's a curve. You want to basically pay attention to those techniques. And I'll tell you what it really is that you cut it for enough, you heat the paper, it becomes pliable, you stretch it around, you get a card, and then you put it on there. And once the heat dries, it sticks. The other thing that I would tell you, Kevin, is get this knifeless tape here. Hold on. There you go. Oh, get this knifeless tape. This knifeless tape, 3M, because what you can do is, especially for like a round thing like this, basically you put it, and you'll see if you look at videos, but get knifeless tape. You'll thank me later. I actually got this kit. This kit is from Vivid Vinyls. I'll send you the link because I got this kit all together and it was from Vivid Vinyls. So they sent the knifeless tape there, and then they sent a squeegee. So again, that you can squeegee, and they sent this little corner one and some felt stuff. And they actually tell you how to use a knifeless tape. So get that, and then. Okay, let's come back. I don't want you guys to see my password. So let me come over here. Let's turn this back on. Let's go back to color grading really quick. Really quick. Okay, so what was I doing? We're in saturation. So if you bring it up, I don't know what that did. Let's bring it down. Is it doing anything? It is. Okay, so look, all the way down made it like black and white. All the way up actually made it look, the sneakers, if we look at it, right? So if we go back into full screen, the sneakers are, that's more, they're that bright, right? They're that obnoxious and bright, but that's more of what they're looking at they're looking at. And if I just come back, right, if I just want to show the sneakers, right, I'm not worried. Even the ground looks a little bit more realistic at that point. I didn't color grade this here. It was just the part for the sneakers. Again, so I basically brought the saturation. Oh, that's at, oh no, we gotta come back. Let's get, we'll go back here because we gotta bring the scrubber back to this part here. Then we can go back into the color grade window. Oh, I could have dragged it. I see. There you go. I could have actually dragged it. Oh no, it is only that one video. Oh, and then I see on the bottom there, it gives me the sections of the videos. And you can see, oh, that's interesting. Let me zoom back in. So you can see over here, this is the section 1 with the sneakers. So if I highlight it, that's the section 1 with the sneakers. And there's the little right above that little red border. You can see that there's, if I embiggen, let's come back over here. I got to go into live demo mode to show you this. Live demo mode. No, no. Damn it, India. No. Freak my life. Leave it up to India. What happened here? Oh, I was pressing the wrong keyboard command. What am I trying to show you guys? What is happening? Am I missing something? My mouse, it stopped zooming. Why? It stopped doing all the commands. Is my keyboard on? My keyboard is on because even the Pro mouse is not doing anything. All right, that's fine. I'm not going to mess around with it. But basically, let me turn off live demo mode. I don't know what it's doing. There's, if you look right above to the left, it says 01. I don't know if I can bring this in. Right over here, you can see it says 01. There you go. Hold on. There you go. You can see it's 01 and it shows a color. If we look at the second file, it's 02. There's no color. You can see the differences. That's that this first file has been color graded and the second one has not been color graded. So that's cool. That's cool. Cool. Okay. What else was I trying to show you guys? Let me bring this back to how I was doing this. All right. Okay. Anytime, Kevin. So there, the saturation is at 100%. If we were to highlights, oh, the color boost. Let's see what the color boost does. Oh, the color boost is, so it's definitely boosting the color altogether. You can see like it gets brown and then it makes it black and white, right? So if I were to bring the color boost up and then go back to the saturation and maybe bring the saturation down. That, so now the ground looks good, but the sneakers, that right, that's more sense of normalcy. And then if we double click on the highlights and drag this up or drag it down a little bit, that looks much better. And I'm going to leave it like that, right? I'm going to just do those. So I changed a little bit of the color boost. Actually, you know what? Let's do shadows. And then the shadows, if you want to make it a little bit darker, let me see. Yeah, the shadow's actually darker here. So if you look at my pants, you can see the shadows. I'm wearing black sweatpants. So if I go up, they look washed out. If I go all the way down, they look darker, right? But then you can see like the black sole of my sneaker stand out. That's too far. So a little, I think that looks okay. I'm at like negative 15. Okay, you get color grading. You can mess around with it. You don't like it, reset it to 0. You're good to go. So, and we can get out of here. Perfect. And then again, you have your gamma, whatever the gamma does. I don't know, but it does. Oh, it's increasing all the colors. So if you take a look, so I want you guys to take a look at these colors over here, and you can look at the graph that's on the screen. I'm on the gamma and I'm using the little scroll wheel on the bottom of the gamma. And you can see, watch these go up or go down. So now you can see that it's going up on the screen, right? The more I go that way, you can see that the gamma goes up. And again, it's basically changing. What it's doing is that the gamma is changing all of the colors, the reds, the greens, and the blues all at once. It's moving it all up, right? So I don't want that, because if you look at my sneakers, my not my sneakers, my sweatpants started to get washed out again. You bring it down, right? And if we go and bring this all the way down, right, you can see now the picture starts to get really dark. We obviously don't want to do that, right? So um, I have no idea where this was, but I think that's okay. I'm going to leave that there. Oh, and it's close to zero, pretty much. Yeah, if you look at the numbers on screen, it says 0909. So if I did want to adjust this to basically zero, all zero, now they're at 000. But I think I like it at point oh 0.09. Okay, color grading. If we want to see what that looks like full screen, let's go back. And now and I feel like that's a little bit too bright. I would probably go back and make some adjustments. Um just some minor adjustments to bring some of that color down. But let's see. But again, this is like going to be for Instagram. So it's not, and then what I would need to do is I would need to then match again this tone here. Now, one thing what I want to know, and I will find this out and circle back with you guys for next week, is that when you do, let's say you see how I have two clips, right? There's the clip of me walking, then there's the clip of the watch. In Final Cut Pro, any special effects that you do like that, whether it's color grading or anything like that, the same thing with audio, if you're making effect changes and you're making fine-tuned stuff, in Final Cut, you can control C, and so that whole you can actually save it as a preset, or you can control C, where it's going to basically grab all of those changes that we did with the hue, the saturation, all of that stuff. You can select another clip, and you can, in Final Cut, the shortcut is Command Shift V, right? So you highlight the clip that you want to apply those changes to, and you hit the buttons Command Shift V. A box is going to pop up and it'll tell you what exactly are the properties that you want to transfer. Do you want to transfer over? Do you want to paste? It'll show the color grading, and then if you've also made audio adjustments, it'll also give you the option there, and it gives you all of that stuff. So I wonder if there's a way to easily do those adjustments here, like the copy and paste. So if I just wanted to drag all of that stuff over, I have to find that out. So that's something else for homework for me to follow up on, because that would be pretty cool, basically, just to go in, right, and to make those adjustments so that basically, on this file here, I can copy and paste it. I'm looking to see if there's anything on here. I'm not seeing anything quickly. I feel like I may just be missing it. Oh, you know what's interesting? Look at the top right hand side. So you can actually install a LUT. So if you do have a LUT downloaded, you can actually apply that LUT and install it. That's cool. And then there's gallery. Oh, so if I had any stills from something like that, like a JPEG, you can have that there. And then you can see there's LUTs. Ooh, look, there's camera brands. Olympus, Panasonic. Gretchen, there's no Canon is not here, Gretchen. What is happening? Canon is not here. DJI, that's interesting. That's Sony. Oh, look, S-Log. That's interesting. Oh, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So there's the default LUTs. That's cool, no problem. Oh, the layers, if you wanted to see it, I guess I can highlight different things there. What do you have? I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna leave you alone. Okay, so now let's get out of here. What's this effects? Oh, so if we wanted to do the effects, that's for another day. I gotta mess around with that. All right. Let's go back into the I think this is the cut page. They have it different tabs. And so interesting. Let's go back into media, download. There's import media, import folder. But I don't see anything for music. What? Oh, they didn't have Canon. Yeah. Does Canon have LUTs? I'm assuming they do. Don't be mad at me. I don't know. Don't be mad at me. Okay. So let's do this. What are we doing? Epidemic sound. Let's do this. Let's go in. Go to my favorites. Go to like sounds. I just liked this yesterday. Perfect. I want to download that one. Download. Oh, wait. Okay. Download started. Okay. See? So check this out. You see, I shared it, right? And my most recently contacted Paul is right. My content creation husband. Thanks, Paul. I just said your name. Is my second most contacted things people here. Then my mom, and then Dr. Elo, and Gigi's right on the side. Um, but what I wanted to show you here is that there's LumaFusion directly as an option, right? So it's AirDrop, Messages, Notability, LumaFusion. There's no option for Davinci here, which I thought was weird, right? Because why wouldn't you let me just send this file directly to Davinci? And then the same thing, share to LumaFusion. So that's unfortunate. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this to files. I'm going to go back to on my iPad. I'm going to go to Davinci and I'm going to save this here. That should have saved. If we go back to Davinci, import from folder on my iPad, Davinci Resolve. It's not letting me highlight it. That's interesting. Okay. So that might be something for me because that's then only pictures. I know you can bring music in. Oh, right here. No. Mm. Mm. Not seeing, I don't understand why. That's the bin, which is like folders, basically files. Import from folder. Import media. Never used any LUTs for Canon. I just looked. There are third-party LUTs for Canon video, but Canon itself does not appear to have LUTs. Okay, so that would make sense why they didn't list it. That would make sense. iPad, Davinci. Oh, there it is. That was weird. Did I do something? I don't know. Maybe I did import pictures or something. All right, so no problem. It's showing up now. Maybe it wasn't finished downloading. Okay, so now the music is there. Cool. Bring this in. Bring this up. I'm trying to drag this up. How do I? Okay. All right. Music down here. Music. Okay. How do I get this to my timeline? I know I'm doing something wrong. Not quite seeing. So it's there. They're also like usually there's just like a drop. Like you just drop, right? Like right? Because that's muting it. That's fine. Let me Google this right quick. Let me Google, because I did say screen share. I no longer need this. See, but the problem is that this is still not as popular. So when I say, watch, add music. Why? That's why it wasn't working, because when Koa came here, she changed. Okay, that's fine. Add music to Davinci timeline. Adding music to Davinci timeline. Just give me the instructions. Finding suitable music. Adding music to the project.
So I've already downloaded the song. It's on the desktop.
So, okay. Can we make this bigger? All right. See, this is for the desktop media. I just want to see, because usually the process should be more or less the same. Yeah. So there's the music. Oh, so there's an audio page. There's a whole, but I'm not seeing that here. Anywhere. Here. All right, let's go back. Let's update the search. Let me make this, unminimize this, unmaximize this here. How to add music to Davinci timeline on iPad. Okay, media files. Then adding it to your project. Okay, let's see. Yes, he's doing the same thing. He's downloading from Epidemic. Thank you, my good sir. Let's playback speed 2 times. Okay. All right, hold on. Yes. That didn't, he did a drag and drop. Did you guys see that? Let me play this really quick.
Into your project is easy enough. Just drag it in. I just put it a little bit ahead just because it's a little glitchy there. So I just move music a little ways ahead in front, and then I'll just drag it back so it lines up right when my project starts.
Okay, he did say it's a little glitchy. No, I was doing that. Come back. Come back. iPad screen share. Okay. Drag it in. Guys, what am I missing? We may have to end the stream, and I may have to... No. What? All right, he's doing all of that. That's it. That's so... Let me see what his thing looks like. Everything else looks exactly the same. There's an audio file. Question. Why is that outline red on the media? Because that's what's selected. That much I know, right? Because now you see that I highlighted the second clip. That's to tell me that that's what's highlighted. So when I highlight that, that's there. And you can see his, right? If we go back to the screen share, his is highlighted as well. The little red around the green. If I click on YouTube so I can make this, just making sure the red wasn't muted. No. I'm not even able to.
On the topic of audio, one thing we'll probably have to change is
Theater mode, so you guys can see that a little bit better. And if we just come back, right, he literally came in, play, and
app
yeah, blah,
then
blah,
instead
blah.
of Davinci Resolve, we're going to go right up to this button here,
Yeah.
and then we're going to import media from our files.
Yeah.
And then adding it to your project is easy enough. You just
Drag and drop.
I just put it a little bit ahead just because it's a little glitchy there. So I just moved the music a little ways ahead in front, and then I'll just drag it back so it lines up right when my project starts.
All right, so the only thing is that he has the timeline in the very beginning. So that's the only thing. So now the timeline is in the very beginning. But it's not doing the same thing. I'm not understanding. He held it for 5 seconds. All right, let's see. What? So look, so if I move it too far down, like this green line, oh, you guys aren't seeing that, sorry. There's a little green line, right? And then the other thing, A1. Okay, but look at how his looks. So his, well, let me go back, screen share. His, let me move my picture. Let me do all the things. Let's come back over here. Okay. So his, you see here, right? It says 1, 2, and A1. A1 is probably for audio. Mm. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Just trying to see. So definitely that's different with the audio. And I have 5. That's because I think I kept pressing plus. Like no matter what I do. All right. I'm just trying to see. Okay. Is there a section for audio below the videos? What do you mean, David? Let me see. Let me look at some of this stuff, right? Okay, look. So look, he's starting off. If you look at that, he's starting off, he just has 1. So let me just play this. And I'm going to lower the volume. Okay, the volume is lower. Let's play this back at double speed really quick. See if we can get an answer. All right. So he's saying move through the timeline. We said that. Yep, we understand that. I figured that out. Yep, you can scroll through. Okay, no problem. Oh, I don't like that. So there is no way to pinch to make your timeline bigger or smaller the way we can in LumaFusion or in Final Cut. Different, right? So it's one of those things, change. Okay, but I'm glad I learned that. No problem. Good to know. So you can drag that up, right? I learned that. Scroll to the end. Yep, figured that out. Yep. Okay. So he's probably, it sounded like it's an annoying quirk like me too. So maybe that'll be an update in DaVinci that maybe you can't do it. And I've never used a desktop app, so I don't know what the behavior is in the desktop. If it's the same or if in fact you can pinch in or out in the desktop. I feel like you can. Okay. Yep, I do see the audio wavelengths. No problem. Okay. Yep, so you can scrub through the audio. That's standard, right? So he's saying that you can scrub through the audio where he placed it. He's saying what I said already, that this if we go back, hold on, if we go back to mine. So basically you're using the shorter little playhead to scrub through your video, right? So the shorter little playhead, you're going to scrub through the video. And then where the longer red playhead is, that's where you're going to place if you want to make a cut. So if I wanted to make a cut right there, then I'm looking at where the longer playhead is. I'm going to place the longer playhead, and then that red longer playhead, I hit the scissors and that's where it's going to cut. So fine. Okay. Understood. Get that. So let's hit. Okay. So he's just doing all his cuts and delete that. Okay, he's saying you got to move 2 slits. I know that I have it really low. I just don't want it to be, I don't want to get in trouble because I'm playing the YouTube video on and things like that. All right, so that's fine. All right, so he's saying you can go back. So at some point, his timeline ends up looking different. Okay, so he's saying that you can drag on the top and rearrange accordingly. Okay. Okay. He just said if you want to add music from a third-party source, blah, 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 go to Davinci Resolve. Okay. He's doing his Epidemic sound plug. Okay. So we all know how to download from Epidemic. I literally just did that on the iPad. Import media. That's it. Literally all he did was just drag and drop. All right, so let's go back. I don't know. So let's force restart. Let's go in, open up DaVinci again. And if this doesn't work this time, then that's okay. We will revisit another day because now it is 2.5 hours. How long I've been streaming for. All right, let me come in. Okay, what am I doing? This is saying my timeline. Maybe let me go. So now these are, did I put music there? Okay, here's the music. Double clicking it. Drag this down. No. Beginning of the playhead. Hold it. Let me see. I'm going to move all of this stuff down. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Maybe. I don't see why it would. No. All right. All right. You can lock your timeline. Bring that. I have no idea. Drive me nuts. Gonna drive me nuts, but I'm gonna figure it out because I'm sure it's a very simple, easy answer that I don't know right now. All right, my friend, thank you for hanging out with me. Hope you found it valuable. Thank you for letting me learn alongside with you. Definitely went over 2 hours today, but it was good. I learned a lot. I can tell that it's super powerful, right? So getting to learn some of the quirks and things like that. I absolutely love the fact that I can use some of the plugins from like Motion VFX and stuff like that. And I'm sure that other big companies will follow suit. So like Motion Array and things like that. If Motion VFX was able to figure it out so quickly, I know that the other ones. Oh, I didn't see this other one, Kevin. Is there a section for audio? DaVinci has those separated in the other group, right? So I'm sure we probably already answered this already, but not here. So the only 2 tabs are basically the cut page on the bottom and then the color grading page. And you can see from the video that that guy basically just dragged and dropped. So might be, I just got to go in. I'm going to start a new project because I also have 5. If we take a look, I also have 5 lines because I kept hitting this plus thing here. Not that one. I kept hitting here. So now you can see it says 6. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he did. So I'll figure it out. Can we just say that I'm ready? I know, man, listen, the both of us, right? The both of us. I'm so disappointed that like all this stuff is happening and Apple is talking about it. That's the thing that scares me. I'll be honest with you. And I had told Paul that. That's the stuff that scares me for Final Cut Pro, that when Apple is featuring Davinci, they featured Davinci, right? When they released the M2 iPads, and when they released the M2 Max just now, they featured Davinci and they talked about specs and the speeds and things like that. So I told Paul, I said, I don't know how invested they really are going to be into Final Cut Pro. If maybe Davinci has more of the market and Davinci is willing to do it, they might just be letting Davinci take that space over, right? Especially if they're featuring it. For me, that's kind of why I'm like, you know what? Let me start to get to know Davinci a little bit, right? Like even if it's just for basic editings, like editing, like we just did, where I can just go in and do some getting rid of the cuts and all of that stuff. Because what if we wait for a year or two? Maybe, I'm not saying that it'll never happen, but like a whole nother year. Listen, I'd rather spend the year learning Davinci, and if I can learn it on the iPad, it's going to be very similar. Look, I hope not. I don't want to have to learn new software stuff. Listen, my stress before you came in, I was so frustrated earlier before you came in, because I'm like, well, this doesn't work this way on Final Cut. It's not counterintuitive, right? I totally get it. But always learning, always growing. And then that's why we have the community that we do. Because then if I go through the growing pains and vice versa, then we can learn together. So, all right, my friends, it has been real. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. You can see I mounted my camera here. Let's come back. Just for this setup. I'm using what is this? This is the Slick Creator Mount. That's the Slick Creator Mount. Man, I love this thing. I need to get another one. And I'm probably going to get another one and keep one here. I normally keep it on this side of the desk, right over here. You can't see it, but I normally keep it right here because that's how you've seen the shot, that it's behind me over the shoulder to see my Rodecaster, my teleprompter, my thing. But I think the way I set up this scene here, right? Like this was pretty dope to have the shot this way. And even if I wanted to like come in and do some B-roll or something like that, I really liked having the angle kind of like this, or just having that there. So I absolutely love this Slick Creators clamp. But yes, good night. I appreciate y'all. You guys are the best. Buenos nachos. There you go. Now off. Listen, it's free, right? If you got the space, it's free. Why not take advantage and just have it? That's what I said. It'd be different if it wasn't free, but for a free app, and I did all of this on the free version on the iPad, man, you got to pay for LumaFusion. All right, y'all. Buenos nachos. Nos vemos. Catch you guys on Sunday for Ladies Night with Kat Mulvihill. I will catch you guys on the next one, and I'll see y'all in the community and in the chats. Bye, y'all. Peace out.